Thank you guys for joining us. We just mostly wanted to touch base with you since we just kind of stopped by and took off. And I know we've pushed out a lot of information to you and we still have more to do. But I guess we would rather have you have too much and just siphon through it at your own rate when you can, and to give you every opportunity to look through the things that we have as we get it. I know we sent out the video today of the classroom, and I think some people were kind of surprised. We're trying to figure out how to marry the sound and the projector for the kids to be able to see, even if they're in their seats, with not having the feedback of kids on Zoom at the same time, or if we're using microphones. We talked to some parents earlier, so maybe there's a workaround. Just because we can't move kids, and we need them to hear and see, that would be our first choice. So we'll get there. We've got another, a little less than a week to figure it out. So we're working on it. But we just wanted you to see what we're dealing with. And so we really want to put your kids in the best position. And even though we're at a disadvantage, we're working on it. And the other thing is we want you to know that even though they give us two sets of kids legally, these are our kids. I mean, they're yours. But when they come to us, I don't see movers and shakers, and we don't divide them that way. So if you would please email both of us and even include Peyton, it'll be easier to address whatever questions or concerns you have, especially during the day, because if one of us is teaching and one of us is trying to deal with online kids and an email comes through and there's something you need us to address, at least one of us is going to see that email and be able to deal with that. So that way we're all in the know and we can deal, because we all three are going to deal with these kids the whole first semester for sure. We have Peyton the first semester. The other thing you might have seen is that we just don't do homework in fourth grade. That doesn't mean they're not going to have work they don't have to complete at home. But we're not going to specifically assign homework and say, well, over the weekend you need to do this and extra things like that. They will have apps that they'll need to finish up. They're going to learn time management. It's a lot harder in fourth grade. When they make that big walk across the school, it is almost symbolic. They go from, they're just learning to read the first 4 years, and now they're reading to learn all the content. And it is very different. And you will see those who really need to work on their reading strategies more and in their comprehension skills. And they'll start to be this pull apart in abilities. And a lot of parents are very alarmed at that. But I think it's the best possible thing to happen, because if you can catch it now, rather than we would see kids in middle school and it was just alarming, they just kind of snuck through the system, then we can help address those things now and get them what they need and take care of those kids. So there will always be things that they can do at home, working on more reading. And we'll send you stuff later about why it's so important to read in a book versus just online all the time. And I mean, they've got to have their math facts. If they don't know their multiplication facts, it's the basis for everything we do in fourth grade. So there's always stuff they can do. But we also know they're 9 or 10 years old once in their life. And they grow up so fast anymore, actually too fast. And so we also want them to be kids. We know they're scheduled. We know they've got soccer. We know they've got all sorts of ball practice, or they've got music lessons, or they've got dance, or they've got to help out doing this with their siblings. We just want them to have the opportunity to just also be kids. So when they go home, we're not going to say, well, then we want you to look up and write this report on that, or we don't. We want you to figure out how to take care of your work in school and get it organized, because we're going to give you plenty of time. But we're not going to give you extra. We also want you to just go spend time with your family. Go help make dinner. Learn those lessons. Learn one of your, recipes that's gone through your family. Go throw a ball around. Go take a walk. Go, do something and be a kid. The last thing I want to share is that we are emotional creatures. We're moms. We're humans. We're teachers. You guys are. And our best interest is what's best for your child going through this school year. And we would love for you to assume we're working from that place. Our intent is to help your child grow and have a fabulous year. And sometimes I think that message gets lost. Either the student doesn't understand that we're trying to help and they get frustrated and they go home and she's picking on me and she always makes me answer this question. And so I would ask that you come to the table knowing that that's our intent. And we understand that as parents, you see your kid upset or they're hurting and you get defensive and you want to know why they're upset. And so we would ask that you would call us or email us or ask us, and just understand that our intent is to, first of all, take care of your kiddo as a human. And then as that nurturing mom, because we're going to see that kid upset and all of our mom stuff goes up. And then to work on the school aspect. And so we see you coming in and we understand you're coming in as a parent first of this child. And we want to work with you and help your child understand, what it is that we're all here working for you to help you have a fantastic year. And we don't want you frustrated, but sometimes you're going to be frustrated and we'll help you work through that too. And just we want to partner with you and make this a great year so that your child understands they're safe in here. They have a right to learn. We're not going to let other kids distract from that and tolerate behavior that will. And then just get them excited and passionate about something this year and just watch them grow. And we just want to partner with you to do that. So we would love to take your questions. I'm sure you have questions. I'm sure there are things you're going to want to know that we don't even have answers to yet.
And we have a list started of questions that we have not been sure how to answer. So any of those questions from our 3 meetings tonight, we will seek further clarification with Dr. Schmitz.
Yeah.
A lot of those were about COVID and logistics with COVID. So
just the parking lot and Wi-Fi, etc.
As you know, CDC has changed their mind, and then the county tends to follow CDC, but that may not be immediate. So it's definitely an evolving process and uncharted waters for us and for you as parents. So, but yeah, go ahead and fire any questions you may have right now that we can either find out or try to answer for you. And don't forget, you have to hit that unmute button.
Yeah. Hello.
I don't know if I'm muted or not. Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
My main concern is, how are you guys going to address the children that really can't sit still all day long? Is there going to be any movement all day long, or are they just required to sit in their chair all day long? Because I have a son that has to constantly wiggle and move and bounce. And, I just don't know if it's going to be effective to have him come to school in a situation like that, or if it's better.
We don't sit still either very well, so it's going to be hard for us.
It's a legitimate concern. It's a concern. We've had that concern from day one. Like, as adults, I don't know how we can do it. We're going to try to go outside every opportunity we can and have class out there, weather permitting. And take chairs. That's why we've asked the kids to bring like little foldable, like the camping chairs. And so we can go out there. And I mean, they're going to be masks in these little chairs all day. And that's why we wanted to, honestly, we want to be forthcoming with you as parents and as educators that it's not ideal. And we want your kids here. and you want your kids here and the kids want to be here. But it's also a concern that they have to sit in these desks. They walk in, and if they want a breakfast, they'll be given a breakfast. They're not charging. They have to sit down in their desk and eat the breakfast, get started on their work. And unless they are going to PE on Monday or Friday, half the class goes, or we're going to the bathroom individually, or recess, which is around 12:30, they're in their seats. And they may remove their mask if they ask for permission, and then they're allowed to take it down for a little bit for a break, and they have to put it right back up. They may now take them off at recess. This is new. If they're playing or running around or something. If they're just walking next to someone, they have to leave it up.
So they are going to get to go to recess and PE, but no other specials?
The specials will come to them.
PE will be outside when weather is permitted, but on the days where the weather is not cooperative, PE will have to be something at their desks. Maybe some stretching, maybe some yoga. The PE teacher will get, do the best he can.
Or a movie on health or something. He doesn't know. Obviously, coach is not thrilled. He wants them outside as much as he can, and so do we. I mean, we have the benefit of this side door right here, and so we'll go out as much as we possibly can.
And we have shade trees out there.
Yeah.
Too.
So if the kids need to bring a hat or whatever, we'll take it and we'll go outside.
How many recesses do they have? And is there any way to increase the recesses?
No, because we don't have room and we cannot be out there with another class. Okay. Yes, it would be great. It would be wonderful. We go out from 12:35 to 1, 12:35 to 1. We have 25-minute recess.
As far as masks go, are they required to bring, is it something that they leave at school or they bring it back and forth?
They need to bring it home so it can be washed.
Okay.
In summer school, it's pretty gross because you would see the ones, they would get salty or sweaty, and it was just pretty gross. And they get wet and soggy and.
Yeah, they may even want to have a backup clean one in their backpack in case the other one they
sneeze in them, they cough in them, they chew on them. It's disgusting. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. And we are only allowed, and they're only allowed with others, 15 minutes of contact a day. So if we were to meet with a student, to help them with math, we can only meet 15 minutes with them total. And we have to keep track of that in case someone would contract COVID. And so that they could keep track of whoever was in contact with that person for 15 minutes.
How will that work for the kids that have IEPs?
Thank you. I'm writing that on my list.
I know Robin will be in our room quite a bit.
Yeah, she's going to push in.
Working with kids in the room. It will be challenging because we can't really control have a lot of space. Yeah, we will ask that question for Robin first, and you can always email her as well.